Today our topic is how to make life simpler with Stoic Minimalism. Life can feel complicated, full of stress, worries, and endless tasks. But it doesn't have to be this way. Stoic Minimalism is a way of thinking and living that can help you simplify your life, focus on what truly matters, and find peace. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to control our emotions, accept what we cannot change, and focus on what we can control. Minimalism is about owning less, doing less, and focusing on what adds value to your life. Together, these ideas can help you create a simpler, more meaningful life. The first step is to understand that many of the things we worry about are not as important as we think. The Stoics believe that much of our suffering comes from wanting things we don't have, or fearing the loss of things we do have. For example, we might worry about losing our job, our money, or our reputation. But the Stoics would say that these things are not fully under our control. What we can control is how we respond to these situations. If we lose our job, we can choose to see it as an opportunity to find something better. If we lose money, we can focus on what truly matters, like our health and relationships. By letting go of attachment to things we can't control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Minimalism helps us do this by encouraging us to own less and focus on what adds value to our lives. When we have fewer possessions, we have less to worry about. We don't need to spend time cleaning, organizing, or repairing things. We can focus on experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Minimalism also helps us see that we don't need as much as we think to be happy. We might think that buying a new car, a bigger house, or the latest gadgets will make us happy, but these things often bring more stress than joy. By owning less, we create more space in our lives for what truly matters. One way to start practicing Stoic Minimalism is to declutter your life. This means getting rid of things you don't need or use. Go through your belongings and ask yourself if each item adds value to your life. If it doesn't, let it go. This process can be freeing and help you see what is truly important. Another way to simplify your life is to focus on your priorities. The Stoics believe that we should focus on what is within our control and let go of the rest. This means setting clear goals and focusing on what matters most to you. For example, if your goal is to spend more time with your family, you might need to say no to extra work or social events that take you away from them. By focusing on your priorities, you can create a life that aligns with your values and brings you joy. Stoic Minimalism also teaches us to be content with what we have. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from within, not from external things. This means that we don't need to constantly chase after more money, possessions, or status to be happy. Instead, we can find joy in the simple things, like spending time with loved ones, enjoying nature, or learning something new. By being content with what we have, we can reduce our desire for more and focus on what truly matters. Another important part of Stoic Minimalism is learning to accept what we cannot change. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, but the Stoics believed that we can choose how we respond to these situations. For example, if you lose your job, you can choose to see it as a chance to start something new. If you face a health problem, you can focus on what you can do to improve your situation. By accepting what we cannot change, we can find peace and focus on what we can control. One of the key ideas in Stoic Minimalism is the concept of Memento Mori, which means remember that you will die. This might sound dark, but it is a reminder to live each day fully and not waste time on things that don't matter. When we remember that our time is limited, we are more likely to focus on what is truly important and let go of what isn't. This can help us make better decisions and live a more meaningful life. Stoic Minimalism also encourages us to practice gratitude. By focusing on what we are grateful for, we can shift our attention away from what we lack and appreciate what we have. This can help us feel more content and reduce our desire for more. For example, instead of wishing for a bigger house, we can be grateful for the home we have and the memories we have created there. Gratitude helps us see the good in our lives and focus on what truly matters. Another way to simplify your life with Stoic minimalism is to slow down and be present. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the rush and forget to enjoy the moment. The Stoics believe that we should focus on the present and not worry too much about the future or the past. By slowing down and being present, we can appreciate the simple joys of life, like a good meal, a beautiful sunset, or a conversation with a friend. This can help us feel more grounded and reduce stress. Stoic minimalism also teaches us to be mindful of our desires. The Stoics believe that many of our desires are unnecessary and can lead to dissatisfaction. For example, we might want a new phone, but do we really need it? Or we might want more money, but will it truly make us happy? By being mindful of our desires, we can focus on what we truly need and let go of what we don't. This can help us live a simpler, more fulfilling life. Finally, Stoic minimalism encourages us to take responsibility for our own happiness. The Stoics believe that our happiness is not determined by external events, but by how we respond to them. This means that we have the power to choose how we feel and how we live our lives. By taking responsibility for our own happiness, we can create a life that is simple, meaningful, and fulfilling. In conclusion, Stoic minimalism is a powerful way to simplify your life and focus on what truly matters. By letting go of what we can't control, owning less, and focusing on our priorities, we can create a life that is more peaceful and meaningful. By practicing gratitude, being present, and taking responsibility for our own happiness, we can find joy in the simple things and live a life that aligns with our values. Stoic minimalism reminds us that life is short and that we should make the most of it by focusing on what truly matters. So, start today. Declutter your life, set your priorities, and focus on what brings you joy. Remember, the simpler your life, the more room you have for what truly matters.